that member to be investigated within 2 years after his departure from elected office. He's responsible for law and order and good governance. Why would he allow that bill? Isn't that a protection of corruption bill as opposed to an anti-corruption bill?
It sounds so, because if a minister cannot be touched till after 2 years, till after he get out of public office, so which means he could be in opposition for the next 10, 15 years.
I mean, 2 years' time, you know, where's the evidence? Where are the assets? Where's the individual, for that matter? You know, where are the witnesses?
Oh.
So, I mean, you know, it's these and this is a governor now who has been bold enough to go on national television and defense of this PNP administration, stating that suggesting that we must not say that the government is corrupt, when all these issues are here blatantly for us to see involving him. Why is it that the governor agrees to a gag order on the information and statistics on crime in the islands and blatantly deny the press the relevant information, access to the relevant information on crime activity? Information that is so readily available in every other democratic country. Why? What are they hiding? Is this democracy? Why is it that the governor who's responsible for law and order, that is transparency and integrity in government and good governance, allow and approve land applications for large tracts of commercial and residential land at below discounted rates to A, persons and companies without a signed application to the Executive Council. B, persons and companies without a development proposal. C, companies that does not even exist. This I can tell you, and I can produce documents that show that these companies own the land, but when you go to the land registry, the companies does not exist.
So Honorable Skippins,
the governor approves this in Executive Council.
But I mean, how, as a former chief minister, why would something like this take place where we're giving land to somebody we don't even?
And every other democracy is called corruption.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if there's another terminology in the Turks and Caicos, but that's corruption.
But I mean, we said there is no corruption.
Well, obviously, it's in the governor's interest to say there is no corruption. Somebody said to me the other day that the premier said that he has nothing to worry about because every land transaction that he did, the governor signed it, so he's not corrupt. And my response to that was, that doesn't mean that you are not corrupt. It could mean also that the governor is corrupt also.
Oh,
That's the point. That's the point. To companies that have been stricken off the registry for many years
are getting land.
Yes. Not only companies that never existed, but companies that have been existed and have been stricken off for many years. Land is being granted, and I have a bunch of examples right here, and we'll get to that later on in this discussion.
Okay.
Companies that have no named shareholders, when in fact that information is necessary to determine who the land is being awarded to, and it is necessary to determine if they qualify for belonga concessions.
Okay, so it can be given to someone down in Santa Maria.
It can be given, for example, to Paper Limited.
To Paper Limited,
right? And there are no named shareholders. You're not saying Sean Malcolm, who is or owner of Paper Limited, but simply a company with no named shareholders.
We have to ask, where our land really going, Honorable Skippins?
Well, it's going to hell, you know. the whole country is going to hell. Why is it that a governor who is responsible for the oversight of environmental protocol between the UK and the TCI, and who is ultimately responsible for that protocol to be upheld in the Turks and Caicos Islands in terms of the preservation of our environment And fortunately, you're going to know what I'm talking about because you have been with me on one of these such investigations. We'll come to that. Why would he get on national television and boast of the government's performance as it relates to the preservation of the environment? And earlier on, he subscribed to a major dredging operation that was going on at Carnival Dock Grand Turk. It proceeded without an environmental impact assessment, and when the heads of agreement specifically calls for it, and I'm sure that must have been during his early arrival, especially in a project that evidently affected our reef systems in Grand Turk. It affected our shoreline tidal flows, which consequently affects beach erosion. And a project that affects our marine life, and a project that affects the clarity and the pristine character of our waters, which is so crucial to our tourism product as a dive destination, especially close to our national parks in that area. Where is the hypocrisy and why? Why is he going so far out of his way to protect this corrupt and lawless government? The other day, Mr. Malcolm, you and I went to Leeward. In fact, you took me to Leeward.
Yes, on the northern
to inspect what is going on up there in an area that was an environmentally reserved area, where dredging is going on and the whole area is white. You cannot see anything in the water. But that is not all. If you would go out to the reefs, you would see that the reef is now being covered in layers of sand, which means the reefs are being killed, the coral is being killed, and the marine life surrounding it is being killed. Where is the preservation? Where is the environmental consciousness that the governor so blatantly gets on the radio and congratulates this government for when he is allowing such things to go on?
I mean, and I think the British minister was right the other day when he stated you can't kill the goose that lays the egg. And tourists comes to this country specifically because of our reefs, our coral, our dive site. And if you're destroying that, then what is the new product that we are offering?
Poverty.
Because you have been a minister of tourism for a number of years.
Yes, and so I'm responsible for
creating. Yes, you created under your leadership what we have now in this Turks and Caicos Island as a destination of high-end quality. And you know, sometimes people tend to forget that what we have in the Turks and Caicos Island did not just start 3-4 years when the PNP came to power. They came and met this country to starve the region, the highest end destination in the world. The celebrities been living here long while this premier was in London studying corruption in law school. I mean, this was already the #1 destination under your leadership.
But Mr. Malcolm, if you would look, if you go to Grand Turk, you would note that the ponds are being randomly filled in.
Yeah.
The pond system is a key element of our environment in Grand Turk. Not only is it tied to flooding or the control of flooding, but it is also tied into the breeding ground of our marine life. The ponds are being filled in arbitrarily. In fact, I was told that the minister from Grand Turk made the comment that fill them in until somebody stops you. In other words, you want land, you are support of the PNP, they're filling in the ponds.